Mean by God, Gene. It's the big guy KG coming to you with the Gridiron. I can't do it like the Midnight Rider do, but I'm sitting in for him this morning. He is at the PG County Wrestling event in Oxon Hill, which you'll hear about tomorrow morning on the Sunday Rise. But I am here to bring you the update of week 1 and week 2 of our new season in the greatest fictitious sports league in the world, Craig. In the world. This is where the sideline junkies get together with friends and play NCAA college football 26. And we get it in. We have our own league. And I'm going to go through the first 2 weeks, which has been full of fireworks. But if you are interested in joining, you can always hit us up and we'll get you in there. So without further ado, let's start this thing off and kick it off right. Week 1 was a battle of rivalries to start off. We had the boss BJ, who is Texas he's number 5 now, playing in-state rival Texas A&M. The boss BJ came out in dominant fashion, wins 24-7 over Texas A&M. Total offense, Texas A&M gave him a problem and rocked 215 yards on him. But he was right behind him with 214. But the major part is that he got the W. You know, he was the season before last champion. He's looking to taste that championship again. And Texas A&M didn't present a problem. Going into halftime up 14-7. And then after that, he just said, you know what, let me go ahead and put up another 10 points and then lock down defense. And wins the game. Keeping it in the household of the boss BJ. This is the hottest coach possibly in the league right now. In the league, Craig. In the league. That is the coach of Memphis. Beats Florida Atlantic 21-3. The coach of Memphis is Little BJ. Little BJ. And I'm not saying that because, you know, he's this 25-year-old kid. Nah. 7 years old, putting on performances like that. Went in at the half 7-3. I don't know what he said to his team, but they locked in. And they wound up winning this thing 21-3. Dominated on every facet. You know, this is a dominant performance. I keep calling him one of the hottest coaches. He took this Memphis team last season from the doldrums and put them in the top 25. He got all the way up to 9. And took an L. And the coaches poll, they knocked him down so far, it just wasn't fair. But he climbed his way back and just missed out on the playoffs by 1 game. But hottest coach out there. He took a W 21-3. Switching over to the next game, we got Coach Devon, who is South Carolina. You can hear Coach Devon on Mondays at 7 on Pretenders or Contenders right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. And he takes out South Carolina takes out Duke 38-17. Now, this game right here, I think Coach Devon is playing very well, but he struggled early on. He was down 14-10 at the half. And then defense took over. And once defense took over, 28 points in the second half will put you in the driver's seat in the win column. So shout out to Coach Devon for having that type of resilience to really get into it and knock out knock out Duke. I keep saying knock out South Carolina like people are actually playing with Duke football. Next up, we have our reigning national champion, which is Hollywood. And Hollywood came in middle of last season, ran the table, and won the championship. A couple of games that he shouldn't have won. It was a couple controversial wins. We talked about that, and we got a good chuckle out of it. But it was a lot of controversy last season, but that's what you want when you got a league that streams. You want controversy, because controversy creates cash, a.k.a. Eric Bischoff's greatest saying. But he's in Oklahoma, and they beat Ohio State 41-7. Ohio State is a very, very tough team. Let's just put it that way. Ohio State is ranked 99 across the board. And Hollywood did not play with them, foot on the gas the whole way, and just punished them. Punished them. That's what you do. You punish them. And knocked them off 41-7 in week 1. Next up, we got Coach Mark at Clemson taking on UCLA. And this right here is a cross-country game. But Coach Mark winning this thing 17-0 at the half and just like, you know what, I'm just going to cruise the rest of the way. And winds up winning 31-7. Dominant performance by Coach Mark. He's trying to get to the championship game. I think he fell short, one game last year? And it's all good. But as the coach of Notre Dame, I myself have to see Coach Mark later on in the season. This is our rubber match. It's our third season matchup. I got the first one. He got the second one. We're going to see who's going to do what now. But he has a strong team down there. Within the first week of recruiting, he got a edge rusher, 6'4", 245 pounds, fast as lightning, to commit. And I tried my damnedest to get that kid to decommit because he was an absolute monster. But he's got himself set up down there, and it's looking pretty goddamn good. So shout out to Coach Mark. Shout out to Hollywood, too, if I didn't give him a shout out. And matter of fact, Coach Mark is down at in Oxon Hill with the PG County Wrestling event as well. I think he's coordinating it. That's his event. Next up, we got legendary sideline junkie, legendary player, Big Jim, who's Oregon. He took on Mizzou, and that was 31-13 Oregon. Knocked it out. Jim's always going to start fast. He started slow, 7-0 in the first quarter, going into half 24-7. And then he cruised in the second half. Once he gets the foot on the neck, normally Jim would just keep pushing on the gas and just like, you know what, I'm just going to crush your windpipe. But he took it on a cruise. And I think I can't speak for Jim and say, you know, well, he's trying to build himself back. He had a little issues in recruiting, but he's got it. He's got it going, and that's good. I love that he's got it where it needs to be. So next up, we talked about family ties earlier. This is a family tie for me. This is the Alabama kid. He took on Arizona State week 1. Arizona State came out 14-0. After the first quarter, the Alabama kid said, you know what? Time to lock in. Lock in. And he rocked 42 points in 2 quarters. That is resiliency. And then he wins this game 49-21 and dominates Arizona State. You wouldn't think Arizona State would come up with anything resembling a matchup or a headache towards Alabama of all teams. Alabama. But Arizona State fought hard, but they didn't fight hard enough. Let's just say that, because they got mollywopped after the first quarter. And I guess Arizona State took their foot off the gas, and, you know, Alabama said, you know what, you take your foot off the gas, you know, or you know what, let me put it this way. Arizona State used nitrous in the first quarter. Alabama looked over and said, too soon, Junior, and took off and going. So congratulations to Alabama on that one. That's a resilient win. I love it. Next up is my own game. Notre Dame versus Florida State, week 1, 35-3. This was a performance that the schedule makers made, and I wouldn't call it dominant because I did not move the ball properly. This is a defensive game. Defense stood tall and talented on this one. So I got to give a shout out to my defense. Florida State just got that 3. I missed my shutout, but they got that 3 late. But 35-3 Notre Dame over Florida State. Next up, you have Darnell, who is Michigan, and he is back on the prowl. He opened up this game, looked like a struggle, 0-0 in the first quarter, then 17-14. It was a battle. And then he pulled away and won it 45-21. Excellent win. And I always give Darnell his props and his praises because I am on his coaching tree as well as, I'm on. You work under coaches and you work under players. Big Jim, Darnell, Boss BJ, and myself have been playing together, not consecutively, but off and on for 25 years, almost 26 years, 25 years. And, we take pieces from each other. We've labbed together. So, it's always one of those things. And then now into the fold, you have the boss's son, Lil BJ, who's now part of that tree. You have my son, the Alabama kid, part of that tree. My other son, who was in the league last season, I don't know if he's coming back, but he was a part of that tree. And, it's one of those things. We got a big tree, and then it expanded out where everybody just kind of labs against each other, and it's like a tree, and it's beautiful. So, shout out to Michigan on this one, 45-21, trying to get that swagger back. Next up, you have Rodney at Penn State, 38-21 over Pittsburgh. In-state rivalry there. This right here was looked like it was going to be a dogfight early. Rodney went into the half 21-7 and just pulled away for good in the second half. This is a balanced game, a very, very balanced game. I think Rodney has a way of playing and wearing you down. If it's not wearing you down with the run game, he can wear you down with the passing game. It's just like it frustrates you. As somebody that's played against him, I'll tell you what it feels like. It frustrates you when he's able to get out of the pocket and you got him dead to rights and he gets that thing off and there's somebody sitting wide open. It frustrates you. So shout out to Rodney with that one, 38-21. Next up, we got Miami versus Tulane for week 1. And I think that might be our last week 1 game. I believe it may be. Miami 35-6. Miami was in the championship game last year. They demolished, destroyed, tattooed, beat the hell out of Tulane. They beat the hell out of them. They beat them like they stole something. 35-6. This is a dominant performance all the way through. Domination. Shout out to Mo, who is Miami. And, came in this is another one of the new members, came in midway last season and ran the thing all the way up to the championship. So beautiful. All right, let's go. Let's do this. I don't know if the Midnight Rider normally take breaks, but let's take a break. Come back. And when we come back, we'll do week 2. Stay tuned.
I threw a pick 6 on their second touchdown, which really pissed me off. So then I started, on the onslaught of relentlessness.
See, I did it. I got the Alabama kid on the show, y'all. Y'all heard him in the background there. I got the Alabama kid on the show. I got him. I was trying to get him on the show. He would not come on. He was supposed to be my interview this morning. Would not come on. I got the Alabama kid on the show, baby. I got him.
You tricked me.
I did. I tricked the Alabama kid to be on the show. So, all right, week 2. You got Clemson versus Virginia. This is an ACC matchup. Week 2, Coach Marcus, 56-14 over Virginia. Another dominant performance. I don't think he's playing around. I don't think he's bullshitting. I think he's going to give it to you, and he's going to give it to him raw. And I got no problem with that because you want everybody to get started and get going. He done got started and got going. So shout out to Coach Marcus with this dominating win. He was up 28-14 at the half and then just clamped down. It was over. It was over. Next up, you got Hollywood versus LSU, Oklahoma versus LSU, 37-17. This is an SEC matchup early in the season. Didn't look like Hollywood had much trouble with LSU. You know, not totally dominant, but dominance enough, you know. So, defensive battle. If you can hold somebody to 17, you know, they're not scoring much, but you're putting up points. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, baby. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next up, you got South Carolina versus NC State. Now, this right here was a dogfight. This could have went into either way because it looked like NC State they mounted a comeback. And Coach Devon, 25, NC State 17. Looked like this a touchdown and a 2-point conversion could have tied this thing up and sent it into overtime. But I think NC State ran out of steam. So shout out to Coach Devon for a resilient win. Resiliency is where it's at. Next up is Mo versus North Carolina, Miami versus North Carolina. And this wasn't even a game. This wasn't a game. See, this is what I'm talking about. This wasn't a game. 31-3, right? When you got a dominant performance, you come in there and you clicking on all cylinders and you roll. Like most people look at the box score and be like, oh man, but he didn't score nothing in the first quarter. But he put up 31 3/4. This was dominance at its finest. This is not nothing, you know, oh man, this was that. No, this was dominance. And I keep using that word. That's our word of the day, is domination, dominance. Okay. So next up, we got Oregon State. And Oregon State didn't play the first game, the first week. And Oregon State was off. But Oregon State announced they'd come back with a resilient win. Resiliency and dominance is our things of the day. 31-24 Oregon State over West Virginia. It was 17-14 at the half. And then it was just like boom, boom, boom. And it was like pop, 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 pop. And it was just like Oregon State is trying to get that mojo back that they had in the first season. And it'll come back. But it's like working your way back into the fold. So shout out to Oregon State and this resilient win. I love resiliency is our big word today. Next up, you got Big Jim versus Oregon versus Tulane. And he wins this one 56-24. Now, this is a Big Jim game. Offensive explosion on bookends. 21 in the first quarter, 21 in the second quarter. He scored 28 on each half. That's balance. And he did it in less total plays than Tulane had. But this is beautiful. I think the one thing that Big Jim's missing is maybe a big play threat, because he can throw it. When he can chuck it deep on you, he's going to chuck it deep on you. And it's over. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm somebody that can play the secondary like nobody's business. Big Jim will throw that thing deep and it's done. And it's like, okay. And when he dropped the bomb on you, you think Cliff Branch, you think Randy Moss, you know, you think shoot, I'm trying to think of all my deep threats. I just named two of the greatest, but that's what you're doing. He just sling that thing deep and they get into a second gear and it's over. And I think that's the only thing that Big Jim is missing that's going to put him in a situation where you're not going to be able to do anything to him. So 56-24, Oregon over Tulane. Next up, and we talked about family affair before the break in the first half of the show. Georgia, which is Coach Devon's son. Dogfight, 28-23 over TCU. This was one of those games where you sitting on the edge of your seat. This is one of those ones that could go either way. If TCU could have put some points up in the third quarter, if they could have put points up in the third quarter, this would have been a different game, different beast. So shout out to Georgia for taking that W and squeezing everything you could get out of it. Next up, you got the Boss BJ in Texas versus Louisville. 34-10, Texas over Louisville. Don't look like the Boss struggled with this. 3-3 at the half and then offensive explosion. And it's like, damn. Defense in the first half, offense on the back half. It's business in the front, playtime in the back, When you can play defense against anybody, because any given Sunday, anything can happen. Any given Saturday, anytime you play this game, I mean, come on now. We got guys that were talking 2 seasons ago about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a 69 across the board, 69 overall, 69 offense, 69 defense. But would lock onto you and shake their jaws and wouldn't let go. They were like a pit bull. They would not go away. Louisville is like that. They are, I'm not going to say dominant, but they're pests. They won't go away. I don't know how the Boss BJ did it, but he got them to go away with this rousing victory, 34-10. Next up, got a Big Ten matchup. Darnell and Michigan beat Stanford 35-7. I love it because Stanford's one of my rivals. Get them up out of here. Pack them up. Dominance. This is dominance. 35-7. When you see scores like this early, you know what kind of season it's going to be. These guys are not playing. Everybody, that's running out of the gate and winning big like this, they're not playing. They're trying to put these opponents down. And when I say put them down, I'm talking about put them down, stomp them in the ground. They trying to curb stomp guys. Okay? So wait till we get to our human versus human interaction. It's on and popping. It's on and popping. Next up, you got Lil BJ at Memphis, the hottest coach in the league right now, hottest coach in the country. Wins 24-7 over Kennesaw State. Now, mind you, this kid's 7 years old, and he's running a dominant performance like that. Like, he's. I don't have enough superlatives to talk about him. I got to get him lined up so the Midnight Rider can interview him because he is up and coming, and he is doing the damn thing. He's got this team ranked up to number 11. Had a great recruiting class come in. I think it was top 20, if I'm not mistaken. At Memphis, a top 20 class. Now, mind you, when we ended the regular season last year, he had 1 recruit. My guy wound up pulling off 31 recruits. He pulled off another 30 with the transfer portal and late recruiting. He pulled off 30 more guys, 31 recruits. Because he's just that good. I don't know what he goes into the house and he says to these kids, but he going in there, he's saying what need to be said, baby. I can't talk about him enough because he is just that damn good. So shout out to Lil BJ in Memphis for their win over Kennesaw State, 24-7. Next up, you got the Alabama kid playing that vaulted Ohio State. He wins 31-14. That's 2 losses for Ohio State in the first 2 weeks. That's good. Take their confidence from them. Get them out of the playoffs because they get in the playoffs. I think they'll probably knock somebody out with that team the way it is. But I watch this game periodically. And the Alabama kids sitting here, He ain't gonna say nothing, so I can say what I want to say because he ain't gonna say nothing. But he struggled early. He struggled. 7-3 in the first quarter, and that 7-3 don't tell a story. 17-14 going into the half, and he locked down in the second half. He had a play on 3rd and goal from the 27.
Yeah, 27.
It was a 27. He rolls out to the right, ladies and gentlemen. Hits the tight end. He was like, I'm just going to run out of bounds. He's like, I'm going to fall down and run out of bounds and just kick the field goal. Tight end catches like, I'm not falling down nowhere. Breaks 3 tackles, walks into the end zone, and then flexes his muscle. I don't know what he feeds his tight end. I think he feeds him.
I feed him love. I love my tight end.
He loves his tight ends, but he feeds them gunpowder and metal.
I feed them whatever they need so they can do what he just did.
Oh, okay. They eat thunder and crap lightning. That's what they do. But excellent game, 31-14 over Ohio State. I noticed everybody's getting their quarterback game up. Everybody's stepping their quarterback game up. And I love to see that. Let's just say that. I love to see everybody step up their quarterback game. It's beautiful to me. Next up, we got our first upset of human opponents, and that is Penn State goes down to Syracuse 21-10. And what's crazy, this game, it was 20-19. Syracuse is driving. Penn State picks off a pass in the end zone. And, the animation takes you, it was like right at the edge of the end zone. Animation takes you out. So he went to go fall down. And he got bumped and pushed back into the end zone, tackled in the end zone for a safety. And that safety turned out to be the turning point and the end all to be all of the game. We talk about controversy last season. I think this is one of those controversial ones. And Syracuse wound up paying off 21-20, beating Penn State, knocking them down to 14. Last but not least, you got myself, Notre Dame 27, Florida 6. This is in the swamp. Again, this right here was a better game for me. And I'm speaking from experience as a coach. We had 200 yards rushing as a team. Time of possession is not on there, but we played 6-minute quarters. I ran down 6 minutes in the first quarter. I got the ball first, and I drove 80 yards in 6 minutes. Just methodical, took my time, ball control offense, and then I walked into the end zone at the beginning of the second quarter and never looked back. So this was a game that I was nervous about because it's Florida, but I wound up getting a W. So this was good. 27-6. Notre Dame over Florida. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our show. You can hear the Sideline Junkies everywhere. Audio, Odyssey, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, X now. You can watch us everywhere. And just make sure you set it so whenever we go live, you already there and you ready. So I'm the big guy KG, filling in for the Midnight Rider for the Gridiron. Thank you for joining me. And the Midnight Rider, let me see if I can get this line right. The Midnight Rider says, if you want the smoke, we got the light. So thank you. And I will see you later on tonight on the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. The Midnight Rider will see you tomorrow morning on the Sunday Rise. Thank you for joining us. Good night. And God bless.